Very well, thanks for dropping by. Off you go.
You've reached the office of Mr. Robert Iger, the CEO of the Walt Disney Corporation. He is not available to come to his phone right now, but if you leave him name, number, and a brief message, he'll get back to you. Never. This has been a recording. Please leave a message at the beep. So, guys, guess what happened? Apparently, Kennedy tried to go into work today at Lucasfilm in San Francisco and was not allowed to enter the premises. So now, apparently, according to what Sparrow told Cameron, she is trying to set up a face-to-face meeting with Bob Iger to have him explain to her why this occurred. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Bob Iger will not see her, and if he does, he's going to tell her that's just the way it is, Kathy. Until your contract runs out, we are not renewing it. You're not getting another extension. You're done. And it looks to me like she could be setting herself up for a LaTondra Newton showdown. And if that happens, it's going to be worse. Now, here's a possibility. Let's just say that Bob Iger has the smoking gun and he wants her to face off with him, and he hasn't told her anything, and he hasn't set a baiting. He's going to let her fall into his trap. That would be something he might do. She might just stride into his office in Burbank to scream in his face. And that would be a stupid thing for her to do, but think about it, okay? This is kind of a BFD. Okay, she's persona non grata. And to me, it looks like she had no idea this had happened, that she was not allowed on the campus. And it's shocking to me that she didn't know, that people didn't tell her that the only way she's allowed in is if she tells them in advance, and then she has a security guard following her every move and telling her she can't go this way and she can't go here and whatever. This is absolutely delicious, in my opinion. I think it's absolutely worth the time and effort, the humiliation. So we'll see what's going on. But if Iger has the smoking gun, he's waiting to drop a nuke on her, or he's waiting for her to get sick of it and leave on her own accord. Okay, which would be fine by me. Meanwhile, her flying monkeys have no one to protect them anymore. Okay, so they're there without Aunt Kathy hovering around, and these 5 guys that I look at, and I don't know whether they're Nazgul or, inquisitors, wandering around the office, basically taking everything she did down and replacing it with something better. Look, they've probably discovered she never paid attention to what anybody did, that she was there minimally, I should say, that she was unaware on purpose of what they were doing on social media. And that's another slap in the face. And that's another point where she is very, very incompetent. Now, the fact of the matter is, I do think that this is going to be a waiting game, but it was confirmed today that she is not going to be there for, we don't know how long she is going to be there, but 18 months is not now the standard. They don't really know, but the feeling I get is she's done soon. The feeling I get is that she's done soon. Now we have the three hyenas, the Dunning-Kruger brothers, the Black Pill Blobs, basically backtracking and now piggybacking on Cameron's reporting, and which is what they're doing. And apparently Pablo apologized. Bullshit. Right. They're just, no, that's one guy that would never apologize unless he was forced to. And I guarantee you, no one at Lucasfilm or Disney forced him to apologize to WDW Pro. I mean, that's just, I think Pro's trying to keep up the pretense that he actually knows somebody there. And this just looks like it's now a waiting game where they're going to wait her out if they don't have a smoking gun. But again, it is believed they do. And we'll just have to see what happens with it. But it's really interesting how this played out. I had a gut feeling today that something was going to happen. My instincts are telling me we're going to hear some really funny news. And look, if they kicked her out of that office and kicked her off that campus, she might as well throw up the towel now. I'm absolutely serious. She needs to just be honest with herself and throw up the towel and say, Tapersep, I'm out. Take the loss and go and sit on the beach somewhere and drink rosé. What else are you going to do? She's done.
How rude. Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly, ghastly mistake.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
So really, what does this mean going forward? Well, she's done. She had no idea that she wasn't allowed on campus. She obviously just thought if she showed up, they'd let her be there. Apparently, I'm going to assume she would have had to tell them she was coming. And again, she didn't realize, in my opinion, that she'd been placed on administrative leave. Now, because of her contract, it's going to sound bizarre because you can't just put her on administrative leave unless they found a smoking gun. Okay? Unless they found something somewhere that was enough to basically get her in trouble and get her, shipped off to Auschwitz or whatever. That's the only way they could put her on administrative leave. And since she is, now we have the Leslie Headland thing, the fact, look, it could be that. It could be they've proven fraud with the Acolyte Lucasfilm lawsuit. It could be anything like that. So she could be in trouble twice, in fact, if you think about it. But this is a step. This is a step, I think, to make her leave on her own. Because all Iger has to do is say, I got this and this, and, if I give it to the DA, you're going to go to prison. And the reason why is, again, why? Because a RICO indictment can be expanded to anybody who is part of the organization, which is why all of those mob bosses got thrown in jail back in the 70s and 80s when Rudolph Giuliani was the federal district attorney for Southern New York. And so if she knew anything about the issue with Headland, even if she was just aware of it, she could be in trouble. All right. And of course, the Acolyte fraud, okay? Look, I have a theory, and this is what I think. When Headland did what she did, this is how I know Kennedy knew about it. Headland then probably wrote that email or called Karen McCarthy and said, we no longer need you for the Acolyte. I think that's what happened. And she's in trouble. Kennedy's in trouble either way. This is what is going on here. This is probably why all of the court documents for the lawsuit have disappeared off of the website for the LA District Courts. Okay, so we got another thing going on here saying Kennedy was kicked off campus today. You know, like I said, she came back. I didn't tell you this, but she's obviously back from her trip to France and England. She, because her husband posted a photograph this morning of their dog. Okay, so, and their dog is in, of course, Malibu. So Kennedy is now desperately trying to get a meeting set up with Iger so she can ask him what the hell is going on. And to me, it's like, what did you think was going to happen? The last 3 movies that you put out there were shit. 2 of them lost $500 million together, okay? The Rise of Skywalker probably lost $100 million, okay? Andor, no one watched it, okay? And you were basically trying to hijack Kenobi, trying to hijack Boba Fett, and you did, and you tried to hijack Mandalorian. You can't keep your nose out of the things that don't belong to you. And we told you we weren't going to do the Acolyte, yet here we are with a lawsuit and this. And then you put the illegal funny money, the shenanigans that Leslie Headland was up to, and you go, hey, you're done. Kathy, you're done. Okay? Because that's what I think is going to happen. So this is going to be a fun week, you guys. This is going to be a really fun week. I guarantee it. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.